Hello, everyone. Today I'm very excited about our 26th interview from the ToolSense interview series workshop talks. I'm Richard and part of the ToolSense communications team. Our special guest today is Carsten Mahaini. He's the CEO of Viking Gulf. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to you, Mr. Mahaini. And then, like always, I would also like to introduce Alexander Manafi. He's the CEO and co-founder of ToolSense. To start off with, perhaps you could tell us a few sentences about yourself and Viking Gulf, Mr. Mahaini, like where you are based, how many employees you have, and what solutions you provide.
Sure. Thank you very much for having me today. We are based in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. We have an office here in Dubai. We have an office in Abu Dhabi. We have an office in Sharjah. And then we also have an office in Oman, in Muscat. We are around 55 people, and we've been around the area since 1987. Our main business is distribution of cleaning equipment, washroom hygiene solutions, and also waste management solutions. So this is where we specialize, and this is where we are leading the innovation here in the area we are distributing in.
All right, thanks for these insights. What I'm also very much interested in is your connection to ToolSense and your discovery of ToolSense, so to speak. So how did you first get in touch with ToolSense and how did you find out about them?
I think we had at that time a common customer who was working with ToolSense, and through this customer, we got to know each other. I think Alexander reached out to us at that point in time to see whether ToolSense would be a suitable, let's say, platform for our asset management, and the conversation started from there because it was an interesting product.
Okay, so the CEO reached out to you, so to say.
Correct.
Okay. And prior to that connection, how did your work in asset management was? What were the challenges that you were facing?
Yeah, I think like everyone else, without a system, everything is manual, and manual means Excel sheets and means kind of a lot of work in just managing assets. There are two things that we use ToolSense for. That's internally for tracking and for keeping track of all our units that we distribute. But then on the other hand, we're also looking to see how customers are using and tracking their assets. But everything that we see and saw at that time, we handled it manually, which was very time consuming and obviously not very easy to dig down into to potential issues and history and all of that.
All right, and probably you wanted to tackle these challenges. And why did you decide for a partnership with ToolSense then? Where did you see the added value that ToolSense could offer a Viking Gulf?
We have had access to a system like ToolSense, but that was a manufacturer designated specific system. One of the main benefits I believe that we have from ToolSense is that it doesn't matter which machine, which asset that we are tracking. We can do it on any platform, and really does not have to be any specific at all. From a customer perspective, also, we do not believe that we are the only supplier to that customer on any given site. So we wanted to give the maximum flexibility to the customer. And here, also, when we discovered and investigated ToolSense, it seemed like a very, very robust solution. And also being multi-vendor, we are not in the center here. The customer is at the center, and I think that's extremely important when we bring out innovation, that we are not limiting the customer in the choices they have. So we want to be seen as an innovative partner, supplier, and in that way we are giving them access to something that they don't necessarily have today across all of their assets. So this is the interesting part about working with ToolSense.
So basically, ToolSense adds not only value to your company, but also to every one of your customers as well.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, from our side, one of the main challenges was that we got a call, please come and fix this machine. When we go there, we actually find out that it's not our machine. Could be. It could also be that we don't know which machine we're going to. It could be a small walk behind. It could be a big ride on, but we don't know before. Now with ToolSense, we know everything about that machine because we track and we monitor it through ToolSense. And when we get the ticket, we already come prepared. And in that sense, it works very well for us. So yes, that's how it really adds value to us as internally. To our customers, for sure, they have a lot of assets on any given site, and here we are able to tag up all of the machines they have on site, whatever equipment it is, and then we help them keep track of all of their assets, and that's extremely good value to add.
Sounds like almost an educational fit.
Yes.
Regarding the partnership, what is your vision between the partnership of Viking Gulf and ToolSense?
I mean, our aim obviously is to be a leader within the products that we are distributing. And part of that is coming out with solutions that are assisting, and as you said and asked for before, provides value added services. So for us, this is not our core, let's say product, but it's something that adds very, very well into the products that we deliver. So when we, for example, can go out and provide IoT tracking of any machine for any customer, we can provide the easiest, let's say, way to after sale service by providing them with a sticker, or in this plate, a metal plate with a unique QR code. We are actually making the life very, very easy for our customers. And I think that is innovation. I think that really provides the added value that we're looking for. That we also, again, saving a lot of time and confusion by knowing what we're talking about. So on a side, you have a lot of people. They don't always know the equipment. They don't know they're not specialists in the equipment. They're specialists in cleaning. But when we get a call, it's nice for us to know what is the machine, what are we going into? I mean, is it a small unit or is it a very large unit? It's very important for us to be prepared and come with the right, let's say, spare parts. When we have the tools and solution, the customer is sure that we will know what machine he's talking about, and we are sure that we can fix it quite quickly because we are carrying whatever we need for that specific machine instead of carrying everything for all of the equipment we have supplied to that site. So the vision is to make sure that we walk the line of innovation and that we go in the direction of putting the customer in the center of all our solutions, and that is for sure the most important thing about ToolSense. ToolSense is one part of the whole situation, but it's a very important part. And that's why I'm really happy working with ToolSense and providing the solution to them.
Mm. I mean, you already told us some of these, but maybe you can talk a little bit more about the specific situations in which ToolSense can help you in your operations, and what are the use cases where you can save time and money by using ToolSense?
Yeah, sure. As I showed you before, we have fixed these plates to every machine and every equipment that we provide. When you scan this QR code here, you go straight on to a form that just asks you for your name and location and your phone number. And when you press send, it goes straight into our CRM system. That means from a customer perspective, you just have to do that in order to get a visit from a technician, or at least a call from a technician. That is unique, and it's something that helps us a lot going forward in the future. And this is where we save a lot of time. This is where the customer saves a lot of time, because from you press send on the form that comes up when you scan this QR code, everything is logged. So we know what happened when. So there is a full transparency between, yes, I raised this ticket today. We came and we visited you on the site, maybe also today. We sent the quotation, we managed and we found out what was wrong. And then we rectified the problem already today or maybe tomorrow. But at least we have a clear, let's say, line of sight in between all the actions. And the customers can be sure that we are handling the ticket and we are handling their problem with the equipment so that their main task can be fulfilled. And I guess that is, their main job is they need to clean. On the other hand, also, it's also important for a site, for any operator that has machines and equipment. Anything can break down at any time. Here we are providing them a solution where they can visualize how many machines are actually actively having a problem, how many are full in operation that are works fine, and in that way we are shortening the time from having a problem on a machine till it's solved, because we do it very quickly. We get the information we need, and they can visualize it and see which ones are out of service, so they can also follow up and make sure that it happens from their side, because they need to issue orders and they need to issue maybe gate passes and stuff like that, so that we can get access. And in that way, we are all, let's say, putting our eyes on the ball, because it's very visual, everything in the entire process. On top of that, we have provided machines with trackers. That means the customers are able to see how well the machine is utilized. That means you can then correlate it, and you can look at a larger side to say, okay, if one machine is overworked and another machine is underworked, you can move assets around. You can do planning. You can do things in a much different way than you wouldn't be able to do before. And in that way, you can also anticipate potential problems, because if an asset is overworked, you obviously get problems faster. And this and many more things is what we're getting out of that. And that helps ultimately, by having the data available. It helps a lot of buying situations, because you can see whether a machine is too small, you can see whether a machine is too large, you can see a lot of things that you would not be able to without a system like ToolSense. And for us, having it across any brand makes a big difference, because we might be able to do it for one brand, but what happens to all the other brands that are there? That really is not a solution to only monitor a part of your fleet. You need to be able to monitor everything in order to take vital business decisions. And I think this is where we see that added value. This is where we save time. This is where the customer can save money. All in all, it's a solution that builds on the future.
So basically, the key benefits would be efficiency, transparency, and also flexibility for not only every machine, but also each and every customer.
Correct. That's the ultimate goal.
Perfect. Maybe if you want to look at a larger picture, how do you see the status quo of digitization in the cleaning industry? And what do you think is most likely to change in the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years?
No, 10 years is a long time frame, but if we just say 5 years, I mean, obviously digital, let's say, innovation is really fast paced these days. I think a lot of innovation the past 10 years has been to innovate and give decision makers the power of data. I think this ToolSense right now is not giving it necessarily only to the decision makers, but it's also providing these data to everyone on the floor, because everyone can use these details. And that, I think, is the second iteration of innovation, because the data is available on the site, on the spot. So we all have ERP systems, we all have CRM system, we might have big and fancy CAF FM system that are tracking everything on a very grand scale, but it's not something that we on a day-to-day basis have access to. This is a system that works on that level, that it works both for the top management to see how is everything, all the machines are working, but it's also a ticketing system. It's also a system that gives the power to the local and, let's say, site users, that they can follow and track everything in relation to their fleet. And I think that's a stronger, let's say, more useful innovation, because it does not, we don't require a lot of setups to do this. We don't require a lot of integrations. So innovation should also be simplification, and that kind of vision is what we in Viking Gulf share with ToolSense, that things should be easy to use. It should not be like rocket science every time. We build on the simple things to create an overview that creates a lot of usability for our customers, but also for ourselves. And ultimately, by providing this added value, I think we are providing, we are innovating and providing added value for the next 5 years. And I can't imagine that in 5 years you would not see a site which is not, integrated with QR codes, which are not integrated with trackers, because this becomes then a valid and very important tools to make, let's say, capacity calculations, to find out where do we have problems, why do we have problems in certain areas, because today we are guessing. If you don't have any system, you're guessing. Now, tomorrow, with all of these systems integrated and installed and used, you have data, so you can take informed decisions. And I think that's part of the innovation. But it does not need to be on the high level. It has to be on the level where everybody can understand and everybody can use. That is pure innovation, in my opinion. And I think that's what goes on the next 5 years.
Would you like to add something, Alexander?
Yeah, for us, or for me, I think two things are interesting and very important. On the one hand, Viking Gulf is, let's say, a complete provider, because Viking Gulf does not only provide machines, but also, for example, washroom solutions or healthcare solutions. So I think Carsten and his team have a very unique and very holistic perspective on, let's say, the reality of facility service providers. So that is great, and that also provides for us a lot of input into, for example, product development or a shared vision where this can go to. So and that is very valuable. On the other hand, also the organization as a whole is very nimble and dynamic, which is great. And then I think in the region itself, UAE and Middle East, I think especially their relationships are key. Yeah. So I think it's always like this, but especially in that region. And I think there also, of course, Carsten and his team have built up an amazing network, and also there this can be an absolute win-win and partnership in that regard. And I think this combination of those two factors, that's what makes it very exciting.
Sure, I totally agree.
Perfect. Thanks to the both of you. That actually was already my last question. So thanks a lot for this exchange. And I was very pleased that you could join us today, Mr. Mahaini. And perhaps we will hear from each other soon again.
Sure.
Perfect. Thanks a lot and have a nice day.